Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. We're going to look at Unit 1, Lesson 1, Equations and their Solutions. Please remember to pause or rewind the video as needed. Let's begin. Number 1, decide if each of the following are equations or expressions. You do not need to solve any equations or evaluate any expressions. Now, what's the difference? Equations have an equal sign. Expressions, no equal sign. Okay, that's the main difference. So that's going to be pretty easy for us to identify. I do not see, for part A, an equal sign. So this would be an expression. I see an equal sign that makes B an equation. Part C, again, I see an equal sign that makes this an equation. I do not see an equal sign anywhere in part D that makes D an expression. Similarly, part E, no equal sign. Pretty complicated looking expression, but still an expression nonetheless. And part F, even though that's a crazy looking thing right there, it has an equal sign that makes it an equation. So that's the first thing we had to do, is just identify what's an equation and what is an expression. Part 2, determine whether each of the following values for a given variable is a solution to the given equation. Show the calculations that lead to your final conclusion. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to do is take the value for x, in this case 8, and plug it in for x and see if we get a true statement. Here we're going to plug in the value of x equals 9 in place of x. Okay, so let's begin. We have parentheses minus 4 equals 12. Well, I'm plugging 8 in place of the parentheses. Now, here, what is 8 minus 4? Well, that would be 4. And 4 does not equal 12. That's a false statement, which means x equals 8 is not a solution. Okay, plugging this in, we're going to go 3 plus, we're going to plug in 9 in place of x, and we're going to divide it by 4, and we're going to see if that equals 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate that top part there. And if I do, I get 3 plus 9, which is 12, over 4, and we're going to see if that equals 3. Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3, which equals 3, and that is a true statement. The number 3 does equal 3. Which means x equals 9 is a solution. Letter C, same thing. I'm going to plug in x equals 4 everywhere I see an x. So I'm going to plug in a 4 plus the 2, and then 3 times the 4 minus 4. Okay, let's see what we have here. Take this first part. 4 plus 2 is 6. Minus the 3 times, well, what's 4 minus 4? Well, that would be 0. Okay, and we want to see if that equals 6. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, and all I'm left with is 6 from right here. And that does equal 6. That's a true statement. which means x equals 4 is a solution. Okay, we're going to plug in x equals 4 in place of here, and let's evaluate. So we're going to go 1/3. Then we're going to go 4 plus 2 equals negative 2/5. Then we're going to go 4 minus 9. Okay, now take care of what's in parentheses first. If we do that, we get 1/3 times 6 equals negative 2/5 times negative 5. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. Okay, now when you're multiplying fractions, ladies and gentlemen, the number multiplies times the top of the fraction, not the bottom. So take care of that. So we have 6 divided by 3 on the left side. 6 times 1 is 6 divided by 3 equals, and over here you have negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10 divided by 5. Now on the left side, 6 divided by 3 is 2. On the right side, 10 divided by 5 is also 2. That's a true statement, which means the value of x equals 4 is a solution. Okay, part 3 and 4 are applications and reasoning. So part 3 application, if you read along with me, it says a disease has 3 treatments depending on the percent of the body affected by a disease. Doctors have the treatment down to the following 3 stages. If the body is affected less than 15%, we call that stage 1. If the body is affected between 15 and 25%, we call that stage 2. If the body is affected between a quarter or a half, that would be stage 3. For anything more than 50%, there is no cure. If the disease is spreading according to the formula P equals 6D plus 5, where P is the percent and D is the number of days, we're going to fill out the following chart, and we're going to explain to the patient what is observed. Well, here's how we're going to fill out the chart. We're going to take that equation there, and we're going to fill it out 8 times. So P equals 6, and in place of D, you're going to put parentheses so we can evaluate it, plus 5. And literally, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to copy that down 7 more times. Okay, so on the first day, you're evaluating 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 is 11% of the body is affected. On day 2, we're going to go 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 5 would be 17% of the body is affected. Day 3, we're going 6 times 3 is 18. Add 5, we're now up to 23% of the body is affected. On day 4, 4 times 6 is 24. Add 5 is 29% of the body is affected. Day 5, we're going to go 6 times 5 is 30. Add 5 is 35% affected. Day 6, we're going to go 6 times 6 is 36. Add 5 is 41%. On day 7, we're going to go 6 times 7 is 42. Add 5, we're at 47%. And on day 8, we are at 6 times 8, which is 48, plus 5, which is 53%. Okay, now, how do we explain this? Well, after 7 days, the body will be more than 50% affected. See, we can see that at 7 days, it's 47%. At 8 days, it's 53%. So sometime after 7 days, the body will be more than 50% effective, for which there is no cure. Number 4, Bobby wants to go on a school trip that will cost him $250. He comes up with an equation that represents how much he needs to save each week as follows. 25W plus 30 equals $250, where W is the number of weeks spent saving money. If he has 9 weeks to save, meaning W equals 9, will he have enough money to go on the trip? Well, here's the clue. Take W equals 9 and plug it in for W, and let's see what we get. 25 times 9 weeks plus the 30 equals 250. Now, when we multiply these two, we get 225 plus 30 is 255. Now, that's not the same thing as 250. So what that means is W equals 9 is not a solution, but after 9 weeks, he will have $255. That's what he will have right there, which is enough money. Remember, why is it enough money? Because he needed at least $250 to go on this trip. Now, he also wants to have $100 spending cash on the trip. He decides to save an extra $10 each week. To this, he adds to his original equation a plus 10W and a plus $100. Okay, so what does our equation become now? Well, let's actually clean it up a bit. On this side, we have now 350. And on this side, you can actually add these two terms, 25 and 10, and we get 35W plus 30 equals. And let's plug into that. So 35 times 9 plus 30, and let's see if that is equal or more than $350. So 35 times 9, this part here is 315. So plus 30 is $345. Again, it's not the same thing as 350, but what do we have now? So in this case, he will only have $345, which in this case is not enough money. because he needed $350. Okay, again, please pause or rewind the video as needed. I hope you found this video tutorial to be helpful. See you next time.